Hi guys, this is Meg from Farmgirl Flowers, and today I'm going to be showing you how to style some poppies. Normally poppies grow in many different colors. If you're ordering poppies from us, they're likely going to come in multiple different colors. Just keep that in mind for today's video. You might not necessarily get all white poppies. In fact, it's more likely that you'll get multicolored poppies. A couple of things before we get started. You're going to want to find a vase for your poppies, and you'll also want a pair of sharp clippers or garden shears or just kitchen scissors, whatever you have is fine. So go ahead and fill your vase about 3/4 of the way full with water. I already have water in my vase here. You're going to want to go ahead and add your flower food to your vase of water. If you don't have flower food handy, a great tip is you can add about a tablespoon, or maybe for this vase since it's so small, just a teaspoon of white vinegar. That'll just inhibit the growth of bacteria, which is going to be bad for the flowers. So that's a great tip if you don't have flower food, which you might not on the second or third day of having this arrangement. So poppies are a really interesting flower. They are super weird looking when you get them and they're closed. I'm going to show you an example of a couple of closed ones. So these are what they look like when they're closed, like little alien heads. When they come to you, some of them might be open like this, and some of them might be closed. They're all right. They're all going to be great. These ones need a little bit of help to be able to open, so I'm going to show you how we do that. As you can see, the head of the poppy has this little casing over it. That seam you can sort of gently pull apart. You can kind of use your thumb at the base of the poppy to just kind of peel it apart a little bit, and you'll be able to sort of gently peel away that outer green layer. You just want to be really gentle because you want to make sure that as you're peeling away this outer casing, you're not also damaging the petals. So you'll see that there's kind of a space between the casing and the petal, and you just want to make sure that you're not peeling away that petal at the same time. And it does take some time and it does take some practice, but you can just peel these little casings right off, and this will help your poppy to really pop open. I'm going to go ahead and do that with the rest of these because I want them all to be open for our arrangement. And this is the only sort of processing that you need to do for poppies. They don't have leafy stems, so we don't need to remove any leaves, which is great. But this is going to be your one sort of thing that you have to do to process. Now I've got all my finished processed poppies. Another thing that you'll notice about your poppies when they come is that the stems are going to look brown at the bottom. And this is because poppies actually release this latex sap when they are cut. It's kind of a strange thing that they do this because it actually makes them not last as long. You want to avoid getting any of that sap that they leak into the water. The way that we've done it for these is we've actually cauterized them with a lighter. So we've slightly burned the edge of the stems here so that none of that sap that has that latex that's not good for the flowers can get out of the stem. So you can also do this at home. You can simply do it with a lighter. If you have one handy, that's totally fine, or a match. You just want to hold your lighter to the end of your stem for a few seconds until it gets this brown little cauterized mark. The other way that you can do this is you can boil some water and you can trim your poppies and then hold the ends of your stems in the boiling water for about 10 seconds. And that will also cauterize the end of your stem so that none of that latex sap is going to get out into your water and hurt your poppies. Once you've cauterized the stems of your poppies, you're ready to start designing. I've already filled my vase with water, so if you haven't done so, you're going to want to fill your vase about 3/4 of the way full with water, and we'll just get started. I'm going to hold up the stems of my poppies against my vase to make sure that they're the height that I want them to be before I cut. I'm just going to continue with my arrangement by measuring my stems and then giving them a trim. Some of your poppies are going to arrive and be different sizes. So just because this guy is really small doesn't mean it won't pop open and open up and be bigger. Obviously, it's probably never going to be as big as this one, but the more petite ones are sort of a fun little accent flower to go at the top of your arrangement. So that would be my suggestion for ones that are really small, is to sort of have those be a little accent guy at the top. And your bigger ones can sort of go more towards the bottom and be like your base flower that sort of draws your eye in towards the bottom. A really important thing to remember when you're styling poppies is they're always going to look very wild and whimsical. They're always going to look like sort of little leggy arms reaching out. You don't have to try that hard to style them. You can sort of leave them looking really wild and they're going to look beautiful. Once you feel good about how you've styled your vase, you're going to want to find a place for it in your home that is going to be away from any direct sunlight and away from any direct heat sources. This will ensure that your flowers remain as fresh for as long as possible. Another way to maintain the freshness of your flowers is to change their water every single day. So the way that you're going to do this is really easy. You'll just take one hand and sort of grab all of the stems that are in your vase, pull those right out. You'll want to clean out the inside of this vase, fill it with fresh water, and then you're going to give your stems a little trim if they need it. If they've had any sort of browning or they just look like they need a refresh, you can trim them about 1/4 to 1/2 inch at a 45-degree angle. And this will help them really soak up that fresh water when they get back into your vase. So replace them in your vase. And then if you need to do any rearranging, readjusting, if your flowers moved around at all when you refilled the water, you can go ahead and do that now. And then you're good until tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching me style these poppies. This has been Meg with Farmgirl Flowers, and this video will be helpful for any of our poppies that we have on the site. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.